April 18th. We'll go ahead and start our regular meeting here in the Commissioner Chambers of the municipal building. Call to order and determine quorum is present.
Mayor Guzman.
Here.
Commissioner Sebastian Martinez.
Here.
Commissioner Ormy Guzman, absent. You have the one.
Rise to the invitation. All resolutions. Commissioner Martinez.
Thank you for this time again for the meeting here in the city of Ormy. We'll just pray that we get some brothers and families, and maybe we will make the right decisions for the good of the city of Ormy. We bless this. In Jesus' name, amen.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, number one, consent agenda. All the following items are considered to be routine by the board of commissioners. There will be no separate discussion on these items and will be enacted on motion unless removed by any board member to discuss and consider separately. By making such requests prior to a motion. Number A, April minutes, March 18th, 2024. Approval of financial update. C, approval of police department reports.
Make a motion we approve the items.
Okay, I'd like to peel out the financial update, which discuss that real quick. If you could, but like you can consent, if you wanted to amend your motion to consent to the other items, if I'd like to discuss the final financial update. Are you okay amending your motion?
Yes, sure is.
All right, motion's been made to consent to agenda items A and C. Is there a second? I second it. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, for item B, approval of financial update, just have a question. So fines and fees, so I'm going through, and I know that this is an annual budget. So these figures would be good through the 6-month mark, so half a year, right? So looking at all this, looking at our revenues and trying to find, okay, 50% of that which are off. The contract code is significantly lower than what we hoped. I know we're still getting going with that. But what's that for a month?
For a month.
For the recent months, I know we got a late start.
They just turned in 2 checks. So I have right now through January.
Oh, okay. That's good. All right, fines and fees. So 114 versus the annual is 300. So let's see.
Well, let's say we brought it 35,000 last month, and we've been averaging 10. So
Okay.
it's picking up.
How's
So
the
it's also
implementation?
we're getting better at more. The police department's almost done with theirs. We're still probably. They said 120 days to start. This week I'm still 90 days.
I know they said they wanted to have training with you guys in next month, right?
They're still building our system, but they did say they wanted us to do that.
Sure.
And then Tyler, so they're building ours in 3 parts because we got the billing system where they can go on and pay. And they're trying to have that live for us already, so we already have that part. But they need to make Tyler what we have with the new system, and Tyler's not wanting to do it. So that's where we're snagged at right now with getting that done. Because they thought they would have that done in 3 weeks. So we're working on that.
So we haven't seen that level of efficiency.
No, right now it's just us being better.
Our sales tax good. Our warrants and civil collections, how are we?
Civil collections, Vine Barter hasn't started yet. We're switching to the system. So. Warrants, I know the guys have been out doing the warrants this month.
Couple David put together a team of 3, and these two other officers are wanting to go and do it on their own time, cyber patrols. And so he's teaching them how to go about to look up the warrants and do the stick tracing and then go and actually find the person and tactics to use when doing that. So
But I will also say, Amy and I were working on today how we pull warrants out of the general court that we get. So there needs to be some more breakdown in it.
It sounds unlikely that we're gonna be able to collect 180,000 in the next 6 months. Warrants over 30,000 a month.
it comes down to being able to get the warrants. And, that's the part that we're trying to build is to be able to get what's there already and turn it into warrants so that our officers will get it.
Sounds like it's a no, though. But
Yeah.
That question isn't that. I think when Commissioner Guzman gets back, it would be great to have another financial workshop. And we kind of talk about next year's plans and budget. Now that we're past that 6-month mark, and this is a big difference. Okay, overall, the way I was calculating, taking out the transfers compared to the 6 months average of the budget versus revenue, we're about 88,000 short. That could be all taken up in the warrant facility collections. Not a big concern, $160,000 difference. Something we need to do. The auditor of 25,000 that we haven't spent, I was curious if,
We're gonna send it.
where, it's done,
Today, yeah, when they finish.
and when's that?
Because they send a request for more information, so I have to submit more information, and then I still need to submit the 2023 audit.
So, we don't have time at all. The legal fees didn't match the general ledger, 47,000 a year, and then the general ledger another figure. Is that the difference from the prior year? We were referring to earlier?
All the fees on it currently are per year. But legal fees, I mean, if you're, there's also Winstead mixed in that. It's not just Central and Wilson, that also includes Winstead and Winstead is separate.
So a question to Jacob, I was curious, when we went through the budgeting process, we were able to pull out prior year's expenses for budgeting purposes. And I'm curious how we're doing it now, we're trying to catch up on some prior years. If, that's gonna throw off our budget, of course, for the fiscal year. When we were going through the budgeting process in the first place, we accounted for it separately. If we were to do a mid-year budget amendment, would we be able to carve out those 23 expenses that we're catching up out of the budget? Out of the operating annual budget?
All you need to take into account on this one, just because it's the most current, but if we put a note on it, these are expenses for last year.
We could carve out like a separate line, I don't know, in like below.
The accountants, accounts payable for the audit.
Right, for budgeting purposes.
If that helps the budget more, then I think we can.
Yeah, it's easier to show a balanced operating budget that way. I mean, it's still the same financials regardless, the same end of the day cash position. It's not a positive thing, but just at least for our operating purposes, to help the budget work balance as we're already working to make some adjustments.
I don't see any problem with that. If the accountant doesn't like it, no, she'll tell us legally. It's the budget. So,
Next one, where'd the miscellaneous item, we added, and the last, second last. So I saw the amendments to his budget for the software.
Yeah.
I didn't see the
They're different.
I was just expecting to see miscellaneous items.
Well, it's this blue, I have it in blue with the elections in there for the repair.
He just, next time.
I don't know why it didn't fill out.
Come on, the ticket fund.
So the blank ones, those are the ones that I changed. I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't have any other questions. If you want to make a motion to approve the update, unless anybody else has any questions.
You had, oh, sorry. Before you had asked me about the, capital improvement and just the negative ending, the negative. That's because, it's a deficit spending on the capital improvement fund.
On the grant reimbursement.
Well, the grant balance is out, but, there's no income for capital improvement. But there are expenses out of it. The non-grant expenses.
They want to approve the report submitted. Let's look at what changes made.
I will second that. Got a motion to approve item G, consent agenda regarding financial update. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Number 2, discuss, consider, and take possible action to review banking and financial options open to the city by soliciting requests for qualifications from financial institutions. This is something we've had a few conversations recently regarding our current relationship. Not to say that there's a few changes we need to make with our types of accounts that we've talked about, but I would be curious to see what other options are out there. I've had a few other conversations with certain banks that might have different lending solutions for us. One that I've got a few recommendations, but each of them seem to want that banking relationship, depository relationship. Since we're in the process of potentially looking at updating the type of accounts we have, potentially earning interest, I'd be curious what our options are out there.
I think we could take a good look at it either. Where we get the most money with what we should go.
And we really need help with the cash flow. It's a big project.
I would really go back to 2008. It's, well, we're also something like bringing in revenue.
Right. We can shop it. We can always stay where we are there.
We could if they would, kind of leave around the other bank, pretty close, But that did not allow for us.
Yeah.
Decide what we're
And it's convenient.
making.
Would you change the account rate?
Yeah. We do.
Is that-
Yeah. Well, 2 of them.
So, I mean, so if you've heard anything different, but the bank lady's claiming that these are the best set up accounts that we can have as far as overall benefit to the city. I don't necessarily buy that, but have anybody else in the bank tell me otherwise. So if we can get a bank to quote us a better interest rate, we can certainly look at moving our accounts.
This is my issue is my meals fund, which is the training fund, the funds that I get from the state comptroller's office, they're depleting out of this account and it shouldn't be correct. They're depleting from the account. The bank is taking
Now, it's charged $20, $19 a month.
and that shouldn't be happening. those funds should be staying in that account.
Those are the two accounts.
Yeah, one is the asset forfeiture and the other one's
They don't take anything out of that.
The asset forfeiture is just not gaining interest in
Right.
it.
right.
But apparently they're all tied together somehow, and yours, that one just happens to be the one that is, it was rained, so we just set up a meeting with Mary Alice, whoever her name is, that there was one.
Yeah, I was talking to her the other day. We're just gonna, she said we can change the accounts if we want. I was gonna go in there and get all the different kinds of accounts. Talked to at some point, I was curious to see, compare that to what one of the things might see. Most interested though, in cash flow management options. But this one doesn't have, and it seems is somewhat unique to things.
And I told the city administrator that I got some checks in the mail for this last fiscal year for funds. And, I'd rather just wait on this sorting out the money.
Well, it's not gonna happen that quick.
Right, but the checks are good for a couple of months, so.
Checks. But yeah,
Yeah, so I'm gonna hold on to them to see if we got to decide on whether or not y'all going to change banks or change accounts or whatever.
you always just transfer funds.
Well, these funds are not supposed to go into any account other than
Oh,
the
right.
US fund.
Right. Well, either way, if we need to change it faster, we can do that. Okay. Any other comments on this? Would you like to make a motion to take action to post the request for qualifications from our financial institutions?
We'll have to make that.
I will second that motion. Then a motion to solicit requests for qualification from financial institutions for the city-state relationship. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Number 3, discuss, consider, and take possible action to set public hearing for the unified development code. And I recently learned that it's not unified, it's
It's another thing.
yeah, it's another, it starts with
Uniform?
Universal.
But anyway, I was talking to Brandon earlier. I know, I'm sure y'all been talking as well regarding his work as well as the city engineers on the updates to the development code. It's pretty interesting. They're not quite done yet. They might be done this week or next week, or at least on the side was the indication he gave me. I'd really like to, obviously we know that there could be a lot more coming, and the sooner we can get this implemented, I think the better for the city. But I'd like to give we need to give the public, opportunity to hear it. I think, in talking to Brandon, that a date towards the end of May would work. I'm curious though, what are the notice requirements? Is it a 10-day notice requirement?
So I think for this, I mean, it would just be, I guess we're gonna publish it on 2 days, but just to have a public hearing, we can just open it up, like, for a regular meeting, and just have a public hearing portion, if y'all would like to publish, we should give it 2 days.
I would like to do that, and I would also like to get it out there with enough time for anybody who wants to review it to review it. There's a lot.
We put it on page on the website too.
So I would think if they're done at the end of next week, that would give us a whole month to push it out, and maybe have the hearing either early June or late May. Like June 6th or 7th.
So, maybe not the meeting.
I would like to have we could, we can always change it, but I wanted to have a date so that they're working towards, due date. So say, hey, we want to publish a month in advance and we have it scheduled for this date, then that gives them
What would be the publication deadline for June 6th?
June 6th, it would be the week before the 29th, so, 22nd. That would be more than 2 days with motion visits.
And that, yeah, so that's, we can confirm that at the May meeting on the 16th. Cool.
Go with that. So I can make a motion to set the public hearing for the future unified development code for June 6th.
Second.
All right, motion has been made to set the public hearing for the development code for June 6th. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Number 4, receive update from and discuss with city attorney regarding pet ordinance on people cat lawns.
Alright, so there's nothing specifically referencing a cat colony, but there are pieces in our ordinances that we can use to go after cat colonies. So most generally, any animal running at large can be cited for running at large,
Like if it's not contained.
not contained.
Okay, it's like a stray cat, an outdoor cat?
Yeah, if it's not marked, like it doesn't have a chip, it doesn't have a deal. So you can pick it up regardless if it's out. And then if it's chipped or collared, you have to take it back and you can cite them. But if it's not chipped or collared, then you can impound the animal. So,
We can also have that, I can't remember what their name, but there's an organization that will come out and travel and fix them and then bring them back. And they do it for free.
Really?
Yeah. Amy's supposed to do them on the phone. They'll put out traps, catch them, fix them, and bring them back.
Maybe with it.
Bear County Cat Coalition or something, San Antonio Cat Coalition, something like that.
Get the number or something. Yeah.
So if you want us to call and do that.
Okay,
we do have a limit on the number of dogs that a person can have based on their property size. If y'all would like to institute a similar limit on cats per property size, we can do that too. I think the cats are kind of more roaming animals, so that's up to y'all, how y'all want to approach that.
so I went back and looked at City San Antonio's, and there's really 2 main things that I thought were interesting. We can take and leave them. But one of them was that all outdoor cats must be spayed or neutered, which I think would be great. And then cat colonies must have a permit and inspections. If it's more than 8, if you have more than 8 cats that you're feeding or taking care of, they have to come in and pay a permit, and then it gets inspected every year to ensure it's not getting out of control. Sanitary.
So that the number for if you consider the colony,
That's City San Antonio. Those are the only 2 I thought interesting pieces. I didn't know, or I didn't interpret what you said that way, so it's good to know that we already have that ability. But I like that the cats, outdoor cats must be spayed and neutered. I think that's a state thing recently.
Yeah, it should be. Especially if
Right.
That's the one that it's 8 per acre, I think. So outdoor cats stay neutered.
It had specific wording, I was just reading my notes, but something like owners of outdoor cats are responsible for ensuring well-being. Whenever you're feeding more than 8 animals or 8 cats, it's considered quality.
Do we have a lot of those here?
No, I've seen them though, yes.
Yeah, but if it gets out of hand, like,
I've had complaints from people in some of these like back corners and cul-de-sacs about neighbors' cats, feeding cats. I have nothing like the dog situation. The dog situations are way higher priority, but
plus cats and rodents.
Anything.
I heard about upper level cats,
Right.
not as much as.
Can't turn out. I'll fix this.
Yeah. Do we need a motion to direct you on that, or could you?
I will work on it, bring it back next time.
Number 5.
Call it cat coalition.
Yes, I like that. Number 5, receive, update, and discuss with city administrator regarding textile monument submission status.
Last I talked to Brandon, it wasn't finished. And then we need Ida to review it for the engineering staff.
I think
But he thought we were going to go see the castle and he wanted based on the castle. And I was like, just get on Google and look it up and look at pictures
I'm still trying to do that.
and put something together.
I'm still trying to do that.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yes, as a Google driver, I look at it from the street if you need to.
Okay. Well, I know I was working with all the
Yeah.
grants and those are the plans. Number 6, discuss, consider, and take possible action to enact an ordinance creating management.
So we put an ordinance together for y'all to review. It's something that we have to bring back. We're just trying to put the groundwork together.
Has everybody reviewed?
Sorry.
Has everybody reviewed?
To put an income up, friendly police permit, the small, the dungeons one.
We don't even have the fence, which I didn't realize.
It's up to you guys, what's wrong with
It's good to have something very basic to start, but I was thinking it would be tens of thousands of dollars to start it. But it doesn't sound like.
No. And we hard to get the big trucks and get up and on it. Well, I'm sure the record. We'll find a way
By the way.
to get it in there. So, but you're small, because it's not. It's all in there.
Oh, the big rigs, they have to take.
Yeah.
They wouldn't bring them here.
But we have to have the rules.
Yeah, so it's an intense process with a lot of rules, and we actually used to represent a towing company in San Antonio, and there are always people lawsuits and people claiming somebody stole something out of the car while it was impounded. So if it doesn't have to have a fence, my recommendation would be to put a fence, just so we have that layer of security and preventing people's items from being stolen. Obviously, the police department's going to do a good job of inventorying items to prevent future claims. But if it's all done correctly and we cross our T's, dot our I's, it can be a good money maker for the city. So,
Or we could start no offense, use the first $3 grand or something, right? To put it down.
that's up to y'all.
And if we have to have somebody to manage,
So there's different rules on when it has to be open based on when you are receiving cars. If you're receiving cars 24/7, you have to have somebody available 24/7 to release cars. So this is just the start of the ordinance. We're going to get more detailed as we go along. My recommendation is going to be to plat out a piece of land that is specifically designated as the impound lot. That way, it's not.
So there's its own address. and-
Yeah, that way it's not some abstract, 20 feet behind the police department. It's gonna have its own address, location, guard that or something out there.
you gotta have somebody there, like 24/7, maybe not, but the person brings the car in.
After certain wild dogs.
They're gonna play games, they're gonna pick it up, and there's nobody there. Unless you're gonna give them a break, but no.
Well, the charges occur at midnight. So it's like midnight to midnight, the charges occur.
It's workable, it's gonna take a lot. There's a lot of pieces of that.
Can't the police department help with that, maintaining the visibility of the area, the operation of it? Kind of
Well,
process.
I was under the, and I mean, Jacob would have to correct me on this or not, but I was under the impression that upon taking this lot that the officers themselves, through the city, they're getting the process developed so that the officers can be the ones to release a vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
So that we don't need an additional person that's just to be doing it. But there has to be an established process so that all the paperwork gets handled, the money, what certain way we're allowed to pay to get the vehicle out. Maybe an envelope system for Dropbox, whatever the case is. But that's what I figured, is that the officers themselves, of course, Monday to Friday, work here. If it's like on a Saturday or Sunday, I mean, it'd be the officer on duty.
What about increased insurance cost? Do we need additional insurance?
I recommend that.
Can we get a quote?
Me, personally, I would like to know if we do the impound without the fence, who would the liability fall under? The department or the city?
Ultimately, I think it'd be the city, and the city is authorizing the police department to run it, like they're operating.
Can the city own an LLC? LLC?
No, I think it's all as the city, you're trying to get around, like, you know, the name.
Oh, so, okay.
So it'd almost be better if it's direct, because you still have direct.
Are we looking at having a good lighting?
So that's what I'd like to figure out what the cost is, the electrical insurance, it's not gonna be additional staff. We talked about getting the base, at least putting the base clear, putting the base with that, with the light. That's a good point, we also need lighting. What? I'd be curious what CPS say about the lights. You know, like on new developments, the CPS will put them, and then go on. CPS owns them.
Yeah, we have to be secure because, that's just good. People come and ask this.
Cameras.
Well, we have people come take questions about it and they get arrested for, I don't know, if use of a vehicle.
Like, windows or.
Even if they have this heat, it's still, definitely more people, they don't have a lot of rest of it.
Well, I think because in talking to one of the main people with Texas Home, he said that the city being a city is not regulated like
No.
regular phone companies are, right? But I think it'd be a good idea for us to still go above and beyond the standard so that we don't put ourselves in any bad medical condition. And if something does happen, then we can show that the city took extra precaution than just the bare minimum. So I think, I mean, if we do go with the idea of just putting base and starting like that, that as soon as we can, we get the fencing and the lighting, barbed wire.
I'd say like the first X amount of dollars it makes goes, yeah.
What was that kind of dollars? They will.
No, because if it bites somebody, no.
There's a pump of it. There's steel.
I think it's sued for it.
I just, and as for the police department, I mean, with this new software that we're going with, it's gonna be hard for everybody to try to say that they're missing $1,000 out of a car or anything, because the new software allows for the officer to take video and pictures with the inventory of the vehicle. So there'll be evidence there to be able to prove that the officer didn't take anything from the vehicle, or that it didn't get damaged, at the hands of the city or anything like that. So we're covered on that end. It's just, the only risk we're gonna have is whether or not people come snooping around at night, touching other people's vehicles, We've seen what happened with the lights.
Yeah.
The last thing we want is
Yeah.
some kid or a person to come and throw a rock at somebody's windshield.
Those things sort of down, I think, just assessing how much the real cost of this to get off the ground is gonna be. And then, I guess estimating what our potential future revenue is gonna be based on what our current number of tows.
Right, I mean, you have And we can use projections from last month and from this year. Just alone in February, there was 21 vehicles towed. So I mean, if we can base it off of that plus whatever the storage fees are, is it like what, $50 a day or something like that? And then And then we have to figure out how much is the city gonna be willing to pay the tow company for it.
So whatever their tow was would be charged to the driver, and then that would go into the tow company.
If we're doing this stuff, that's a fair problem. It's gotta be fast. We can't just put them on the open. Just tell them, come on in. Yeah, there's got to be some kind of secure place to keep these guys.
And this is question, Jacob, would there be any conflict of interest or anything like that if one of my officers is able to get us a good deal on the police share, the base that we might use?
I don't think so. Honestly. I don't think that's a conflict, though.
What if he's the one that will take the base down?
I mean, if you put out, for request, if it is to a point where it's gonna go over the threshold that we would need to bid out for it, then we would have to submit it. If it's just materials, I don't think we have to.
That's more than 50.
Well, because my sergeant says that he'll help the city out with that by basically getting a couple guys that work for him or that he knows that I have to verify with him, but it could be at a very low cost for the city. So I can get with him. I'll save a lot of money.
Yeah, could we work on a financial model, so like startup costs, revenue projections? And let's bring this back with fee schedules to compare. And then, yeah, your decision. Okay.
We're gonna put the next meeting. Ready.
Yep. It's a great idea, I think we're all pretty excited about it, so I'm really curious of the numbers. Any further discussion on 6? Number 7, discuss, consider, and take possible action to designate a location for and allocate funds for the creation of. Alright. Number 8, discuss, consider, and take possible action regarding annual sewer project invoice received from South Texas Infrastructure. City Administrator Knapp.
So at the end of your stuff, you have these are the invoices we got so far from the sewer. The first $90,000 has been paid and reimbursed. Second $88,000 has been paid and not been reimbursed yet. The third one is $151,000. We do not pay that one yet. And then the fourth one is $251,000. I can't do that.
Wait, we haven't paid 151.
And then you told me to wait until the reimbursements.
Oh, then we got to do another one.
Yeah. And I still have to make the payment on the police vehicle. So,
Well, I thought the video for this, I got told, we're pretty slow on these reimbursements. He understood, I'm gonna be, reach out to Manuel Wheel, see if we can call him back.
manual and, you have the engine information.
Might reach out to my office. This is a manufacturing that they have given us. It's putting us in a tough spot. So I was going through these little percentages in the big invoice.
Inside there.
Yeah, I realized a lot of, depending on the timing, like there was all the engineering first, then the right of the acquisition, they're really like about 50% done with the engineering piece, which I find very encouraging, being where we are in the year. We're actually on track for that timeline I was nervous about a couple months ago. But I don't want them to slow up because we're having a hard time paying. So, we've got to put some pressure. Right. It's too slow. It's
We don't have.
a month, 2 months. Yeah. I mean, if it really comes down to maybe we do a partial payment, I'm sure we'd be fine with that. So far, it really was a little
You know, super slow at the beginning, you know, they're catching up.
All right, any further discussion? All right, number 9, updates of REC business, and just report of support all matters related to.
Okay, we got this. Wait, I made, so that's another invoice.
Is this, how's this compared to the other amounts?
It's like, I don't know, I think it's pretty much the same he's been doing, but he's not, I mean, he's not posting to the website, it's. You put on here that he's repeating indefinitely, so. We did,
Oh, is this a new invoice?
it's just from today, yeah.
We sent them that letter.
And then, I know I sent Jacob a note last month or the month before, people are getting more information on his website that is incorrect and coming in and screaming at us because what we're telling them doesn't match the website. And that's not my website. That's not the city website. So, yes, sir. It's the same thing we did last year. Except he's been fired at least twice by now. Not three times.
The other attorney,
Mark, yeah.
we should have to pay.
Well, he's not posting. Anyway, this is just so y'all know what I'm doing.
I mean, at the time, we had enough history to know that at one time we were engaged, and we didn't have proof showing that we terminated the relationship. So at the time, this is obviously nothing new, but if we have the information that we had a person that we're working with, and they have an outstanding invoice, whether we have an agreement or not, that was the basis for not paying them. I mean, me as a person, I would pay them if I had that kind of proof of history. Those are my 2 thoughts on it.
This is like he's posted it for 23.
Right, so that's what, I wouldn't agree with this, but for the periods of time that he did do it, which this could reflect, I don't know. This makes it look like it's a new year, but we definitely sent them that termination notice, so we would pay that.
We would, he said repeats indefinitely versus yearly.
I know, he's angry.
I,
And I looking back, none of us were here, but looking back at the history, I can see why. Those are my 2 cents. I think that original invoice should be paid less. This, no.
just FYI.
Right.
This is just another.
Right, I just said, make it,
So.
making my 2 cents known.
I don't know if there's a way to shut the website down, but
I mean, I think we'd be paying a whole invoice.
I mean, well,
Yes.
see, don't do that. She was here, and I'm sure she probably make a motion to hire her. And he didn't do what he said he did.
It is what it is.
Yeah, we haven't paid.
It is what it is. But if we did want to make an offer to take the website down, maybe there is a middle ground that might be worth financial consideration. Depending how many times that happens, the scenario described, maybe more information, that's kind of a big deal. That's a threshold. that. And at some point, it makes sense to protect that.
Yeah.
And sometimes.
Yeah, so I forwarded that to Jacob.
Right.
If we could send him a cease and desist letter.
That's,
I have an update, for the microchipping and the scanners, we're hoping to get an account with the American Channel Club, that's where we go through. So they have a pretty good deal, this quote that I had is for one microchip reader and 50 tags, prepaid, their single use injections, $667.50. They have a two scanner package with the same amount of chips, so I'm waiting on that. But we're gonna go with them, because they'll be providing kind of like, it'll kind of be where we're gonna go to register the animal through that.
Great.
So,
right in line with kind of what I've been.
yeah, because I prefer for us to be able to go on the scene and insert the microchip and right there and then have the registration done so that we don't walk away and the owner forgets to do it.
Yeah.
The owner can help with the dog.
Yeah, and if they choose not to want us to do it, then they get a fine.
Yeah, that's key.
So it's either or.
Speak for dogs, have you talk about your idea? Well, it's just you saying we could set up 2 kennels and kind of get it back going. At least having the facility to hold it for 72 hours, and then talking with Somerset that we
Yeah.
get to figure out what that number is and how we might work
We're
it.
still trying to see who's, at the more better pricing,
Is that what?
the better pricing of the.
So in the event that we do get $8, we just take them to that place.
No, we take, second to a hole, if they don't get picked up, then if we have to.
So,
Yeah, but who's gonna take care of the animal here?
That's what we're gonna figure out.
He was working on cases. Park. He was working on those cases.
Oh, yeah, that's what the major snag is in that, who's gonna take care of the animal for 72 hours?
Right, yeah, sure.
You gotta have cover. You can't put the dog out there
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
in the rain or the.
Yeah, I know, because then we'd be breaking the law.
Yeah, but you already have something.
It can be done, I guess. Put a truck over the top of it. And we got to play with it.
Suarez?
I don't forget his name. We had an animal control guy at the 78 city council. And he was out at night, I saw a crowd out there. And I saw this light. He was, trying to get coyotes. Coyotes come, there's coyotes around here, no one would know. And, it was Mike in the middle of the night. Okay.
Also, there's some dead trees. A lot of those trees are dead and falling. So when it's not with the arcs, they're knocking them down. Just like that.
I saw trees like that.
Yeah, because he just is pushing them over with the tractor. It's not
We
even,
didn't want to walk the road, but they were
they're dead trees. They're already falling on each other.
that's why they don't, because of the wind, they're so dry.
So there were some above the canopies, the picnic canopies, and they were already leaning on each other. So it's a safety thing.
Yeah, we have a lot of places here, and this is, sometimes just talking to them, they put up the lines, even if it's trees in your yard, and the lines are going through. I happened to my dog right across the road from me. And they would come,
So this house on the corner, this red house, you can see from here where that tree grew in the wind.
Yeah.
It's on the house, but the people moved out 3 weeks ago. And I don't know who to contact. A guy called the office talking about he was gonna buy it, asking about our ordinances and things, but it's really close to the CPS power line. We had them come out and inspect it yesterday, and they said they can't do anything until it actually tears the line.
Oh, until
He tears the line,
what?
because it's on private property.
Yeah, they got some
They won't do
crazy ideas.
anything until it, but I believe it's not a service to it.
Wow.
So we had them come out and look at it yesterday morning, but
See, the line in my car had come down from the pole. She didn't know that, but all of a sudden she had, it's something about the house or something, or the bottom of the line. So they took that, it was very dark. And I think they have a night crew and they had this light. Sure enough, the line was hitting the pole, and my daughter had already caught a little fish. And he came and looked all the places. I keep playing something wrong with the house. It was the line on the tree. And they did come out and do it again, but now, she said, it's about time to do it again, because this was about 3 years ago. And the tree keeps growing.
Speaking of things, this is the houses. Valerie told me yesterday about a couple of houses in the area that need condemnation. And so I've started exploring our ordinances and seeing if we have what it takes to take the initiative to start the condemnation process on a few of these houses. Is that something you don't like me to say?
Yes, that's why we want the existing structural safety.
So I'm just gonna make sure that we have the procedure in place to go through condemnation set of hearings. They would have to come before the board and y'all would have to deem it condemned property. So y'all just be prepared to potentially hear some soft stories.
Just to go along with that, that's the reason why I think the new fiscal year, when I get more training on it, I might as well just go up to the Waco area and take the court enforcement class myself.
Yeah.
That way, because that's part of the classes, is all the steps you have to take, something like that. Going back to the animals, I have this, I'm gonna send out to San Antonio Humane Society, which is same contract that we had signed before.
Okay.
So that we can take dogs to them. Maybe we don't have to do that maybe with Somerset or whatever, but the only thing with them is that when we took the dogs, it's kind of like against their procedures. They like to have advance notice, like a day or two. They want you to make an appointment for everything for the cages. But with this, we'll be able to just take it, and it's $35. It's worked so far. Every time that we've had an issue that where they grab a dog, we've taken it and we just kind of say sorry at the back end, and they end up taking the dog.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
It's the same one that we just-
Can you read that animal, the next one? Same as the recon loss, and the legal loss. I like that capability that we use it.
Good.
Second that motion was made to adjourn, is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Here. Any other, sir?
Oh, I'm missing out.
This.
You're a commissioner.
Traveling today.
I'm traveling.
Same trip.
Spain.
Yes.
Spain?
Back 30 years, he was to go to the airport and she was there for 30 years. And her friend, he
Well, Danny, that's pretty much Danny.
you was going out there. And he was, he got married.
So I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I guess it's a-
And he's gonna go there and do the marriage. And the church and say,
Somebody buying clothes?
Wow. You need to go with
That guy. Oh, that's actually my.
Nobody's here.
Yeah.
Sounds bad as if it's not Danny, you know, like.
Yeah, so,
You have lumber?
go for it.
that's your.
I gave him the name.
You gave him the name?
You found a little.
That's a unique name, I've never seen that. Yeah, This guy shot wants to be filmed out, there's always in the doors. If there's no one in the name, you don't put the whole city, like, finish already? Yeah.
Oh, someday.
How's it going? There,
What is Plum Daddy? What do you think it is? Question.
plumber.
He's the plumber, daddy.
That's a common history.
I was hoping it was a fruit company.
Yeah.
It can be. It can be. We can bring fruit right to your door.
Yeah, oranges.
Oh, I was actually gonna ask you about the allergies here. For the bill, I was thinking about, is there something that the trade has to come and register here to me? Or they just will program at the time off? No, to do programming work or mechanical work. Development.
Yeah.
But is it on anywhere?
Is that the register, the way you register San Antonio? As
I guess it comes out. If you operate at a farm, we have business permits.
So we're saying, every job, or you just apply?
Well, we have that, like, for the job, we get a permit for the job.
You have like